Wyclef Jean, BKS1 Radio. Let's go.
This is Essence Atkins, and this is BKS1 Radio.
Hi, this is Melba Moore, and you're listening to BKS1 Radio.
Yo, check it out. What's the deal? This the chef. Giving a big shout out to my peoples. Big KS, you already know what it is. Salute.
What's up? It's your girl Monifa, and I'm hanging with BKS1 Radio.
Hi, I'm Iyanla Van Zandt, and you're listening to BKS1 Radio.
BKS Radio, baby.
Hey, this is Jasmine Guy for BKS1 Radio.
What's going on? This is Lamont Brooker, and this is BKS1 Radio.
Shout out to BKS1, the best kept damn secret in the business.
Hey, what's up? This is Raven Goodwin from BET's Being Mary Jane, and shout out to BKS1.
Hi, this is Leon. You're watching BKS1 Radio.
BKS1. God bless y'all. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Up your way. Good morning. Wake your ass up. You officially on the Man Cave Morning Show. Let's clap it up. Yes, 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 yes.
Good morning.
The official Man Cave Morning Show, WBKS1. I'm excited. It's another Monday.
Yes.
Happy Monday, people.
Happy Monday,
Clap it up for Monday.
Indeed.
Yes, 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 y'all. Also, I am just happy to be here.
I am so happy to be here.
Yes, 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 yes. Salute to you all. Let's introduce the awesome squad of the Man Cave Morning Show. To my far right, my man 50 Grand. Yes, yes, always with the plan. We call him the dude. The dude. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, everybody. All the listeners, all the viewers.
No doubt, no doubt. To the right of me, the dude that gets a little rude, especially when he's in a bad mood. We call him Deacon Woo. Deacon Woo.
Let's get it.
And to the left of me,
Hey,
the beautiful,
the vivacious,
the talented,
the scrumptious,
the voice,
the sweetness,
the spicy Puerto Rican. We call her Hurricane Kiss, aka Lucy. Lucy.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning.
You got some explaining to do.
Oh my God. And in the center, we have our favorite mentor.
I'm just humbly, I am humbly Storm Norton General at your service. Salute to you all. Good morning, beautiful people. Now, first and foremost,
I'm excited.
Gotta get some love, of course. Gotta get some love. Shout out to everybody watching us live right now on YouTube.
Bang.
Salute to everybody watching us live right now on Twitter and Periscope.
Bang.
Shout out to everybody watching us live on Ustream. Salute to everybody watching us live on the mother site, WBKS1.com. Shout out to everybody listening to us live on the TuneIn app. If you don't have the TuneIn app, please download it, people. It's free.
It's free, y'all.
It is free. It is more popular than iHeartRadio now. And salute to you all listening to us on the TuneIn
everybody
app.
on the IG check-in this morning.
Shout out to everybody on IG check-in. And salute to everybody watching us live and listening to us on my FB.
Yes.
One love. Salute to you all. Clap it up for you beautiful people. Yes, yes, yes. And real quick, so I'm going to give y'all the phone number in case y'all want to call in.
Yes.
And talk about anything we're discussing. The phone number is what, people?
646-233-0302.
They know it, man. They know it. All right, so let's get some FB love real quick. Shout out to Nikki Raspberry on the check-in. Shout out to Robin Starr on the check-in. Julius Gray on the check-in. Chanel Red. Denise Sparrow on the check-in. Good morning, people. Deshauna on the check-in. Hey, Deshauna. Byron Lee. Tammy Walker. Yes, yes, yes. Kango Kid.
Kango Kid.
Yes, yes. On the check-in. And as y'all trickle in, we're going to get this thing started, man. Got a legend that's on his way in the building.
Absolutely.
To sit down and discuss some things with us and tell us what he's doing and what he's got popping and what's going on and everything. So he will be joining us very shortly. What are we talking about this morning on the show? Hurricane Kiss.
One of our topics is how to know if you're being used in a relationship.
People still use people. So we're going to talk. Shout out to Glenn Gray on the check-in. What's good, Glenn?
Glenn.
Grand G.
Baby, what's up?
Yes, 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 yes. No doubt, no doubt. Now, whatever platform you're watching this on, YouTube or whatever, Facebook, whatever, make sure you share it out to the people so they can get this information, man. So we're going to talk about some things this morning. You know how we do on the Man Cave Morning Show. We keep it 3.
Yes.
All right? So you already know what it is. Let's get this thing started, man. First and foremost, how was y'all weekend?
Good. Pretty good.
Anything exciting happened this weekend? What did you do this weekend?
Oh, well, we got in the studio yesterday with Miss Chanel Red and JJ did that.
Wow.
And it was amazing. Definitely dope vibe. So y'all got to get ready because she's getting ready to work us into the ground and we're so ready and so excited. So thank you to Chanel. Thank you to JJ for real.
No doubt. I heard the song. I thought the song was awesome.
Yes.
That real music, that 90s feel to it, as only Allure can do. You know what I'm saying? But yes, I see great things coming from the whole family.
Yes.
I see great things.
Like Chanel said, it's winning season. So
yes.
let's go. Let's go.
It's definitely winning season. Clap it up for that. Well, real quick. So I was coming into work this morning, before, as I was coming into the show, and right before I left the house, the news report was on. So they said that the NRA is suing New York State.
Why would that be, sir?
The NRA is suing New York State because it's saying because New York State is responsible for getting a lot of investors to pull out of the NRA and to stop supporting the NRA. So they're going to sue the state. And the NRA say now they're hurting and they may have to close their office or in their website and all of that now because they're saying the reason is that they offer a special insurance to victims of gun violence and that they can't afford to keep that going now. That's not the reason. Wow. They're trying to act like the reason why they want this lawsuit is because they care to keep this insurance going. But we all know that there's other insurers out there that's not connected, you know what I'm saying, with gun laws and all this, whatever, so now the NRA is actually suing somebody. They're suing a whole state. Do you think they would win?
No,
do you think they would win coming up against New York State in a lawsuit because they're mad that investors is pulling away from the NRA? It's a long time coming.
Yeah,
it's not going to work. They're not going to win.
Will, your thoughts?
While I never bet against the NRA legally, I think this time they might have to take the L. The tide is turning. The fact that they're losing is a good thing in my opinion. I'm a bleeding heart liberal, and if you look at the way the NRA has brought politicians and made money off of death, debauchery, and destruction, I think you're seeing the tide turning because 20 years ago that would have never happened because they own lobbyists, they own lawyers, they own politicians, but the mayor of New York's pretty strong dude. I like his politics. I think they might take their first L. That's just me.
No doubt. Let's definitely clap that up.
NRA.
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah. So you get what you put out there.
Karma is
coming back to you.
Oh yeah.
Yes, karma is coming back to you.
So by the sword, brother.
Wear that.
Dig it.
The other thing is funny, man. Last week we was talking about black-owned businesses, and we showed the clip too of the lady that was getting her nails done in the nail salon, and she got disrespected by the owner. Yeah, she flipped on the owner because he said something about black people. What did he actually say? I forgot what he said, but he said something about African Americans or whatever, and she was like, "But you have no complaints about us spending our money here."
But but she wasn't violent. She
wasn't violent at all.
Right.
So now it's funny. So we got another clip. Let me make sure I got the clip before. I don't know if I got the clip or not. I think I did. But anyway, this clip is about a young lady. I guess she was getting her nails done.
Yes, she was.
And
she was getting her eyebrows.
She was getting her eyebrows arched.
Yeah, and they messed them up.
And what happens?
And she refused to pay because she didn't think that the service deserved payment.
Right.
Wow.
This is what happened next.
Wow. Let's run the clip.
That's crazy.
Because she refused to pay service?
Right.
And they about.
So were they upset that she didn't want to pay?
A tad. And you know what?
A little bit.
Kiss. You get your eyebrows arched for $10. It ain't like $1 million to get that done.
It's actually cheaper
So
than
this
that.
is what happened.
Yeah, it's $5, you know, straight. But you know what I'm saying. I'm
Yeah,
saying
I
New
know
York.
what you mean.
You know what I'm saying. Not much money for the eyebrow arch. Go ahead.
Right.
Oh, wait a minute. I don't know if I even got the clip, man.
I say do it yourself.
But anyway, what? You say what?
I said do it yourself. I guess because I do everything myself. I don't even.
That's right.
I'm trying to blame it on nobody.
I mean, yeah, you should do it yourself, and stop giving people money for things that you can do yourself. So
You ain't lying. I've been promising myself a pedicure for like 3 weeks. I got claws now. I can scale a tree.
You got the Wolverine claws?
Yo, bro, I go right up a telephone pole straight up it.
So your girl scratch you and you scratch your girl back, huh?
Nah, bro. I sleep with socks on.
You sleep with socks.
I don't trust that I may damage a calf or something.
Kiss. You like men with hammer toe? You like men with claws? No.
Listen,
Make your calves bleed.
I gotta work hard on making my feet look nice for you. You're not coming in my streets with your Wolverine claws with your hoof talons.
Kiss. What about the fungus on the big toe?
No, we're not doing that.
Wait, kiss. What about the black pinky toe?
Nah, we're not doing that either.
What if it's so much fungus on it that made the nail fall off?
Nah,
no, not so
I'm
much.
good.
That's not sexy.
I just soak my foot in.
I'm so good.
I need to soak my feet in wool like that. Because wool like
my dogs gotta be nice.
I'm gonna show y'all the clip. I got the
clip. For
clip.
them claws.
I can't.
Here is the clip.
Got it.
Yes, sir.
The young lady in the nail salon, she refused to pay after getting her eyebrows messed up. Here it goes. What we want to know is, how would y'all have handled that situation? What do you think the owner should have did in that situation? One, and then two, how do you think, you know, the lady that didn't like the way her eyebrows were done should have handled that situation? What would you do? This is our what would you do if this happened to you?
Honestly, man,
on both ends of the spectrum,
I would have just paid for it, and I would just. Well, I don't get my eyebrows done, but you know, considering that they did do a service, just don't go back no more. Your eyebrows will grow back in a couple of days.
Right.
You know what I mean? Don't be in there. Don't be. No, seriously.
Grow back in a couple of days.
They'll grow back in a couple of days, man. You don't be in there. Yo, you were up against like 20 Koreans.
Yo,
and this is the, you know, and I ain't gonna go into it too much, but this is what I was talking to about accountability yesterday. Me and Rob was having this conversation about accountability. You cannot expect someone to not react to you after they gave you a service. Now, if you don't like them, don't come back.
Right.
Right.
You know what I mean? What is it, like $10, $11, ladies?
Not even.
Yes. Stars comments. We are going to read your comments as you leave the comments and everything. So shout out to everybody on the check-in. And remember, no matter what platform you're listening to, it's on Share It Out, share it to the world. Here we go.
Robin Star says, so the violence that took place was despicable. She should have paid for the service and kept it moving. Right. They could have blinded her with the acetone. Ain't worth $10.
Yup.
Yeah.
Wow, baby, you right.
I mean, like any establishment, if you're doing a service, no matter what, things are gonna happen. Sometimes things might go wrong, but you still deserve to get paid. I mean, in certain instances, I think like in restaurants, like there might be certain situations if you're treated unfairly,
right,
or if you're treated with some type of disrespect or whatever, then maybe there's a way to work around it. But in a situation like that, when you got the whole cast of The Last Dragon there, like they paid themselves. I'm just saying. Because there was 3 of them.
Who's the master?
There was 3 of them. They beating them with brooms. But it's true what Robin said. Like, what if they would have picked up the acetone and squirted it in there? Like, yo, it gets ugly. Like, the whole store was on y'all.
The whole cast of the last.
I'm just, look.
Yeah, I just would have paid and said I'm never coming back.
Yeah, that's crazy. Exactly. I would have just paid her and just said, look. Yeah, I mean, Dennis is right. They're gonna grow back, or just
let me ask you. Eyebrows will be back.
Do you think the salon owner should be? If you were the customer, right, that wasn't happy with the service, and they acted in that way, do you think they should go to the police?
They listen. I'm gonna offer my opinion.
Okay.
They assaulted a customer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Now, you mean to tell me that when someone doesn't pay, you in turn beat their ass, jump them? So, for me, all you got to do is do the reverse racism litmus test and have a Korean person going into an all-black establishment and 10 black folks whooping the hell out of a Korean person. Then there's nothing to discuss. So, to rewind the tape, I would have paid, right? Because it's just, maybe I would have asked for my money back, or try to do something. Or hey, I'm going to go to the Business Bureau, or get on Yelp and say this is a horrible establishment.
Right.
But they did give you a service. It was a bad service, right? But listen, you not paying. Now that being said, they call us a violent people.
Yeah.
For $5 eyebrow arch is worth 6, 7, 8 people jumping you. Just look at that. Just look at the humanity of that. And again, as the so-called race man, if you reverse the race and had 6 people jumping up in anyone else, police, it's horrible. Look at how they're acting. They're so violent. They're out of control. Black on black violence. What is that? Yellow on yellow violence you just saw?
What I hate about the videos, like you see these 3 black women being assaulted. I don't like when videos. I'm gonna say this. I don't like when videos start in the middle. You get what I'm saying?
You don't know the whole story.
I feel like no matter what, as an establishment, you have to have some type of dignity and some type of respect. So no matter what happens, you shouldn't be putting your hands on nobody.
Agreed.
Even if the person, because like it just starts from them ripping and tearing their shirts and going crazy. We don't know what was said before that. We don't know if the customer could have got quiet. We don't know if they said no, you have to pay. You know how they quick to be like, you pay now. They quick to be like, you pay now. Maybe she did something crazy, or maybe hit her first. We don't know.
We don't know. You're
but
right.
At the same time, if I'm running an establishment that I know that my service is to make a woman feel beautiful, whatever the case was, and I didn't give her that, I'm gonna have to try to come to some type of resolution to make to make not the situation not get to where it went. But at the end of the day, there's no reason for any of that.
Here's the larger issue. Here's the larger issue.
Okay.
I guarantee you that establishment is open today.
I
guarantee you black people are patronizing that establishment. I absolutely guarantee. So you name another community where a member of your community can be beat up and they're in business.
Right.
That's our fault. Not the assaults. I'm not saying that, but the fact that over the air and the business is still there. Listen, people are going to only treat you. So why should they care about me talking on the radio or our outrage if people can be assaulted and people
still go back?
Whose fault is that? They are accustomed to treating us that way because that is what we accept.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. So. All right. So again, like you said, the video, what we saw was them wilding out, whatever like that. So she was unhappy with her eyebrows. She said, "I'm not paying." Right?
Go ahead.
So that's for them to say, "Okay, well, we're going to call the police."
Absolutely.
Right.
All right. If you're not going to pay us,
1000%,
we're going to call the police. Now, wait a minute. Here's the thing, right? So if they walk out the door and you still call the police, they gone, right? So did they try to like lock them in? We don't know. There's something like, how would you handle that situation though if you were an owner of the establishment? Let's flip it now.
Go ahead.
So now we're not the customers, we're the owners. Like I know me, if I don't have one of those automatic locks, I would either try to lock them in or lock the door. Like I'm calling the police.
That's kidnapping.
All right. So is it?
Can't hold somebody against their will.
What?
That's the problem.
People do that all the time with shoplifting situations.
They'll lock the door on you in the
They'll lock the door on you in the
But they got to at least catch them stealing, though, right?
That is stealing.
I know. No. Listen to what I'm saying.
Listen.
Which I'm not disagreeing with you.
I'm just being an owner right now, but go ahead.
I'm not disagreeing with you. What I'm saying is that how do you get the right to lock somebody in a store? And I know if they stole that they can, well, I can't even say they can do that because rules are bent for certain cultures. So
absolutely.
If I know for me, which I ain't never steal, but I know if somebody accused me of stealing and they say I can't go out, I'm coming out with them either on my shoulder and them through the window. I'm coming out because you can't hold me against my will. You can't hold somebody against their will.
If you did not pay?
No. I'm not. I'm talking about if I'm accused of doing something.
Okay,
because people have been accused,
but they're not accused.
Things.
So I'm saying this instance that you decide that you're not going to pay because you wasn't happy with the service.
Right. Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. I got you.
Yeah,
I got you.
So, while I will agree that not paying for service is egregious, let me tell you something. With the amount of money that these type of, because I'm gonna play devil's advocate in reverse. These people make millions of dollars, right? A Korean will fight you talking about you owe me 2 cents. Give me 2 cents. Give me 2 cents. Listen, you can take the L. Let me tell you why. Let's say you were to call the police and it were to escalate, and God forbid one of us would lose our lives, which we see. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
If you are in a community, in a certain milieu, then you have to get a understanding of the community that you serve reacts. What happens is, though, people come into our community and they don't know how we think. They don't know how we look. Like, you know, the police officer from out of town, and he rolls up on 2 people, right? And he jumps out of his car, he's scared, and he shoots them, right? Then a police officer that's born in the community, what's up, baby? How y'all doing? What's good? How you doing? You see how one instance is de-escalated, right? The other incident, somebody loses their life, right? Because the police officer is familiar with the culture. Now, if you have this mindset, which Koreans do and other people do, that they don't care about how we react, how we respond, body language, etc. They don't care. They just want the money. Last thing, for you to say to me, Dawood, why should they care? Oh, I'm a black man. So when the police roll up on me, I'm very cognizant of my body language, their body language. I'm hypersensitive to everything that goes around because I know that I could lose my life, and I teach my children that as well.
Look, with that incident that we just played, that clip, them Koreans weren't scared.
No, they wasn't.
They weren't scared at all.
They was being all 3 of them at the same time.
They weren't scared at all.
Okay.
And look, if we had to run a little bit of the clip again for those that were late, all right, these were Korean salon owners that didn't get paid from the customer because they was unhappy with the service, and this is how they reacted.
So
but just look at how they reacted.
Let me. Okay.
See, I'm sorry, man. And this is what's angering. It's not even the fact that they were getting beat. All right. You know what the problem is? And this would get me sick about loudmouth people that sit there, run their mouths while someone's attacking them and killing them. And I'm not saying that you should be violent, but they sitting there talking. They beating them with sticks, and they trying to defend themselves. Get out of their path. Why you still sitting there talking? They sitting there talking.
Let's take this. We're gonna take a call. Caller from the 904. State your name, where you calling from. You on the Man Cave Morning Show. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, folks. It's Paul out of Florida.
Florida.
Hey, I'm gonna say this about the Korean incident. Sister should have just paid the $10, grab her Sharpie, color her eyebrows in, and never go back.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, we as brothers, we go to a bad barbershop, we get a jacked up. I'm quite sure every brother can relate to this. We went to a barbershop, we got a jacked up haircut once in our lifetime. We never go back to the barber.
Yes.
Just don't go back.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
so
sir.
you're saying basically it escalated to a point it didn't have to go to.
Right.
Because all that talking.
Right, it didn't have to get that far. Just don't go back. Pay it, whatever she said. Pay it. Don't go back. Well, I agree with you, Lou. All right, there are still black people patronizing that community.
Exactly.
Just like we are still patronizing the Waffle House. Just like we are still patronizing Starbucks. Just like we are still patronizing the NFL. We are too comfortable with giving up our comforts.
So yes. So with that being said, are you saying that because of the way we still patronize these people that do us wrong and treat us wrong, that they don't respect our grievances any longer?
Right. No, they don't. They don't give it. All they care is about the money. They don't care about our community. They don't care about our grievances. All they want is our money. And we go in and act a fool. They put it on YouTube, World Star Hip Hop, right? And then all they're going to show is how, we're savages. Right? But like I said, we are too comfortable with giving up our comfort. If they really wanted to do something, all the black people in our community should shut down and never go back to that nail salon.
Agreed.
That would raise more of a voice than the video has.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man.
I agree.
And you know what, though? I don't know if anybody sees this but me, and I keep saying this. The whole time that these Korean people are attacking them, these people are sitting there talking. The problem is that it's too much talking, and I don't mean being violent, but it's too much talking when there should be some type of evasive action to stop yourself from being too much talking, running their mouths in a situation like that.
So,
maybe I'm the only one that see that.
No, but here's one thing I have to say about some. One of the young ladies said, "You hit my grandma. Don't hit my grandma or whatever." She was concerned about her grandma. Right. If you really was that concerned about your grandma's safety, you'd have paid the $10. You'd have paid the $10 or whatever it costs for the eyebrows and bounced, and then told people never go back there again, or I'm not patronizing this again. Or if you felt some type of way because they did come at you in a physical way, y'all would have paid the $10 left and then went to the police, and then came back and said, "Look, blah 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 blah."
Right.
You know, and the way they handled it was wrong too. I think both parties were wrong.
Yeah, I agree with you.
I see wrong on both ends.
I agree with you,
of the
man.
spectrum.
So I agree with you on that. Both parties are wrong, but if they really wanted to make a voice, they should have been outside in front of the store with signs. Do not patronize this store. All right? Go back to like we used to do in the 60s. We wanted something done, all right? We picket it. Right? Like I said earlier, we are too comfortable with giving our comforts.
Too scared to take a stand.
True indeed.
Too scared to take a
Love,
stand.
bro. Thanks for calling in, man. And
have a good day.
No doubt. Have a good day.
Before we,
I agree. I mean, I agree.
Before we move on, I need to rewind the tape to address a couple of issues. First, I agree wholeheartedly that there's wrong on both sides. That's number one. Number two, if that were Sylvia's, an African-American establishment, and there was a tape online of the cook and the waiter and the server, 5 black people jumping on one person of another race. Trust me, no one will be asking what preceded this. Let's see the tape before. We need to understand what was going on. You know what will be said? Look at those savages. They're so violent. They're so this. They're so that. Right? So when you look at a thing, of course we're going to look at a thing according to our own perception. So this is mine. Do I agree that it's wrong? Yes, absolutely. But I mean, it was handled incorrectly on both sides. But listen, bad behavior is projected from us in a completely different way. Anytime we take physical action, validated or not validated, it's always perceived as we're violent and we're bad and we're this and we're that. Whereas other people, let me see what happened first. What could they have done? They could have done this. They could have done that. But when it's us, you got to take the high road. You got to use your head. You got to use your intelligence. I'm not saying that what that woman did was not wrong, but look at the perception.
We're going to read some
that
comments.
Would be rerun over and over on the 6 o'clock news as yet another example of violence and black on black crime, etc. And finally, if you don't hit people financially, right, continue to be mistreated. Like my brother said, you want to be comfortable, you're going to be mistreated. It's very, very, very simple. You don't want it to happen, don't give them your money.
No doubt.
It's not rocket science.
Let's go back to some comments from We read Robbins, right?
Yes.
Ciardi, Cardi Franklin. Yes, Cardi Franklin.
She says, I don't care what the young lady did. You don't take the law in your own hands and administer jungle justice. Call the authorities and let it be handled. If they had any respect for the customer, it would have been handled differently. Bless.
No doubt. No doubt.
I guarantee you, we can never take the law in our own hands.
Never. Hold on. Reading comments. Julius Gray.
So they went through all that drama for what? $10 worth of work? Ridiculous.
Yes. Paul Joseph Williams
says pay her for her service and use a Sharpie to color the pay the service and don't go back.
Nikki Raspberry.
Right.
Pay the service and don't go back.
Okay. Dee Dee Graham.
Dee Dee Graham.
Good morning, Dee Dee.
You can't lock them in. It's against the law.
True indeed. Let's go to Paul again.
Paul again said, yes, well, I bet you there's still black people patronizing that nail shop.
Absolutely.
Just like we still patronize Waffle House, Starbucks, and etc.
Exactly.
Dee Dee Graham.
Dee Dee Graham said happened down here, and they were told by the law enforcement that it was against the law to hold someone hostage, accused or not.
Oh wow, okay, that's good to know.
Yeah, that's
Sandy
B,
what's up,
Hey Boo, Sandy said they took the law in their own hands. Hitting them was, I'm just saying.
Absolutely, Squale. Absolutely assault.
When do you? And I'm not. See, this is my whole thing about the law thing. I don't have a criminal record because I don't break laws.
Right.
But this is my whole thing about law. If someone is attacking you, or attempting, in the case of me, if you attempt to attack me, you're done. And I'm talking about in the worst way. Now, am I just saying that because I work out? No, I'm saying that because I have a biblical, spiritual, physical right to defend myself. My point being that it's too many people, black people, that every time something happens, they want to sit back and talk. And I'm not saying beat up people, but what I'm saying is they want to sit back and talk and protest and hold picket signs. I'm telling you, it's not working.
Okay,
hold on.
It's not working.
Yeah, just real quick. See, I've seen it on another level too. Now, I ain't gonna blow the spot up, all right? Because you probably actually know the owner of the spot. So there was a spot, a soul food spot in Irvington, right? And I'll tell you the person who went there. So there's this artist, songwriter that I know. Her name is Sonia Elise. She has a huge following, right? So she got a huge following. She went into the soul food joint with her friends, whatever like that. She wasn't happy with the food, right? She complained about it a little bit, but she was still willing to eat it and everything. She just wanted to know if they could take it back and do something to it, whatever. So the owner got a little bit indignant. The owner was one of us. Sonia's one of us. The owner got a little bit indignant, whatever. She was like, hey, I'm just telling you that my such and such, can you cook it a little bit longer? Can you do this? Can you do that? Blah, blah, blah. That's all. I'm a customer. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm asking you if you could do this. Start blacking out. Oh, if you don't like it, then take it like this. Boom, 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 boom. So then it started. She was called the B word.
Go ahead.
She was called the B word. She was being cursed at. And the way this customer owner talked to her, right, was like he was talking to a man.
Right.
So she wasn't, she wasn't scared, but she was like, I can't believe you're really talking to me like this. I'm about to spend money with you. I'm just telling you that I'm unhappy with this. Blah, blah, blah.
Right.
So it escalated, whatever. But in the meanwhile, she had all of it on videotape. She had all of it on her phone. Again, she has a big following. She posted it up. On FB. Matter of fact, if it might still be there. 2 weeks later, 3 weeks later, shut down. Soul food establishment, right? It was shut down.
Wow.
Right? People started seeing that video. They started sharing it out. People started not going there. People started talking about it, whatever like that. So, I ain't gonna front. When I seen the video, I was a little appalled the way the brother that was handling it. And he was a Muslim brother. Was a Muslim brother too. I was a little shocked.
Right.
But the power when you say their service sucks, it is not great, it is not this, it does work. Now this happened with one of our own against one of our own.
That's what I was about to say.
All right, so now why can't we stop going to the Waffle Houses like Paul said? And why can't we stop going to Denny's? And why can't we stop going to places that we're mistreated, and go to places where people respect our dollar. So it does work when the right person says, y'all need to stop patronizing this because of this. She had a video example, you know, with this owner disrespecting her at the soul food restaurant, and he got shut down. 3 weeks later was shut down.
Wow.
So I agree with you, and as I get older, I agree. Let me go back to my brother. I'm keenly aware of how I'm perceived. So if I am, let's look at Trayvon, right? Who, I don't know, the guy jumped on him, and you know what I mean, and he got the better of him. If I'm in a state of aggression, right, and I'm assertive or whatever, even if I'm justified, I know that when the cops roll up on the scene and they see me being aggressive, that could be my life. Now, is it worth it? Maybe it is, maybe it's not. You know, if someone is threatening my family or whatever, but in these type of interactions, I'm going to have to say no. If you break into my house, if you threaten a family member of mine, causing them physically bodily harm, then it is what it is, right? But I know that a black man with a loud voice, right, is subject to be ended in this country. So to go back to Norm, I think that financially hitting the people and closing the establishment down is a better issue. Right. Because when cops get called and they see me and they see him, a lot of times cops just got one. Look, praise God, we get some good cops that come and could de-escalate.
Right, and that's the thing.
But this is the thing. And so I don't want to say that. But what I am saying is your life could be lost for a $10 thing, which is completely not worth it. You see what I'm saying? $10.
Real quick, shout out to Dorothy Bolton. She said, yeah, customer service in black services be horrible too. What happened to the customer is always right. Not always white. And see, that's the whole thing.
Worst service I ever had is from black folk.
Yeah, but listen, so it's not this so much like a race issue as it is a customer service issue and how you should be treated as a customer. You know, and as how a business owner should react to certain situations. So Dee Dee Graham brought up a good point, saying, okay, just like, so they couldn't allow. That's why the one girl was leaving. Like, she just ran out the door or whatever like that, and whatever the situation is. So my whole thing is, it's just about good customer service. We got to be honest with our establishments that sometimes we don't get the best customer service.
We are honest on this show. We talk about it all the time.
Yeah, and I'm just saying. So
I got you on that.
So it's definitely not. It's not always a black and white issue when it comes to that. Because in the scenario I gave you, where this soul food restaurant got shut down, they was totally. I'm gonna find this video too, because she had a clip up. They was totally disrespected, and the responses underneath that video was like, "Yeah, I've been there before too," and he did talk nasty. Yeah, I've been there before too, and the food wasn't that great, and I asked him to fix it, blah blah blah, and he totally disrespected me. So all these responses of other people that has been at this establishment started coming to light, and 3 weeks later the business was shut down. And this is what I'm saying. This is the power. We do have power in our voice. We have a lot of power in our voice, but we don't use it enough. And we don't use it the right way.
I totally agree with you about the power in the voice. But if that was a white establishment and that happened and she posted out the video everywhere, black people would have still been going. They would have still been going there. We just said it about Denny's. We just said it about Starbucks. We just said that. So the problem and the reason why it was shut down is because he was. Now, I don't agree with how he talked to the woman. I don't agree with that. But white people do the same thing in their establishments and call you niggers and tell you to get out and don't come back, and then 3 weeks later they're not out of business. Why? And the reason why that guy with the soul food brother was shut down, which I'm not saying that he shouldn't have been, but if it would have been somebody white with a white business that did that, they'd still be in business because black people would still support him. So what's that?
All right, let me flip it. Let me flip it on something that I know, something that I've seen that happen personally too. There was a business in Scotch Plains, an eating establishment that was shut down. That was shut down because discrimination, right? So it does work. you know the spot.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm gonna say, remember the old Dunkin' Donuts? It was across the street from that.
Yes.
And then they changed the name of it. When they reopened, they changed the name of it, whatever like that. But it was discrimination practices, the reason why they were shut down. So it does happen, but it's just how much you complain about it. And not just how much you complain about, but who you complain to.
Right.
And
right.
who's doing the complaining.
I can see that.
And who's doing the complaining. You know what I'm saying? Just that the average Joe complaining about something, they'll just dismiss real quick.
Right.
But the right person complains about something, there'll be actions taken. So shout out to everybody on the check-in, man. And let's clap it up because I'm seeing some comments or whatever. And we're going to move it along. Our guest is in the building, man.
Yeah, the guest is here.
Good brother. Good brother. Legend in the hip hop game. Somebody I always had a lot of respect for and everything. A lot of respect for doing great things and everything. Let's welcome him to the Man Cave Morning Show. In the building we have the legendary hip hop icon to me.
Icon to
you know
me too.
Same. KANGOL Kid in the building.
Yes.
KANGOL Kid.
Am I on? Is this mic on? Is this mic on?
Yes.
What's going on, peoples? Fam, how you guys doing, man?
Salute.
Thank you.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning to you, man. You guys are well hidden. Because I was like trying to find, like, I hope whoever it is who's looking for you never finds you.
Check this out. This is why we're called the best kept secret. BKS.
It makes sense now.
The best kept secret.
AKA Incognito.
Yes.
May you never be found,
sir. That is by design.
May you never be found.
So, just in case we got some younger listeners. You know what I'm saying? Or somebody, has been living underneath a rock or whatever like that. And you don't remember this brother, part of the legendary group U.T.F.O.
Yes, sir.
As a DJ, I used to cut up the records all the time. I had the actual vinyl. I think I got 3 of them at the house.
And they're home going, what's vinyl?
Exactly.
Exactly. Well, we're going to run this. I'm going to take you back a little bit on a journey real quick. I'm going to run this right now.
Right.
So here's the clip. We got it. Man Cave Morning Show, BKS1 Radio. Let's get it.
U.T.F.O. and she's so baby, don't you know I can sing, rap, dance in just one show? Cause I'm KANGOL, Mr. Sophisticator. As far as I know, ain't nobody greater. From beginning to end and to beginning, I never leave because I'm all about winning. But if I was to lose, I wouldn't be upset. Cause I'm not a gambler, I don't bet. I don't be in no casino. And baby, playing Nizzo, the is the grizzly, kiss and gizzo. I thought you'd be impressed and give me devious rap. I thought I had a gun inside my sinister track. I thought it'd be a piece of cake, but it was nothing like that. I guess that's what I give a think, it ain't that right, black. I thought I had it in the palm of my hand, but man, oh man, if I was grand, I'd bang Roxanne, can't you understand? Roxanne, I wanna be your man. No, KANGOL, I don't think that you're dense, but you went about the matter with no experience. You should know, she doesn't need a guy like you. She needs a guy like me with a high IQ. And she'll take to my rap, cause my rap the best. The educated rapper MD will never fess. So when I met her, I wasted no time, but stuck up Roxanne, baby don't mind. She thought my name was Larry, I told her it was Gary. She said she didn't like it, so she chose to call me Barry. She said she loved to marry, my baby she would carry. And if we had a baby, we'd name the baby Harry. Her mother name is Mary, which is really quite contrary. Her face is very hairy, and you can say it's scary. She lives in Miami, our father's a fairy. His wife's a secretary, and son's a military. Back in January, or was it February? But every time I say this rhyme, it makes me kinda weary. It's only customary to give this commentary. You never find a rhyme like this in any dictionary. But do you know, after all I received was a pat on my back. That's what you get, it happened to me in that right mix master ICE. Roxanne. You thought you had a rope, you thought you was Cupid. But EMD, your rap was plain stupid. I know you're educated, but what will you learn? Not all girls want to be involved with bookworms. You gotta be strong to which you can't resist. So educated rapper, bust this. Since she's a new girl around the block, I had to let her know I was the debonair doctor. Said you call yourself a doctor. I said, this is true. She said, explain to me really what doctors must do. I said, this is very good, cause I don't say this everything. It's a major medical field the doctor must play.
Dermatology is treatment of the skin. In fact, then you see me over and over again. There's anesthesiology, ophthalmology, internal medicine, and plastic surgery, orthopedic surgery, and pathology. A disease caused by the change of the body. She said, ooh, that's very unique. Gave me her number and kissed me on the cheek. She said she had to go, but she'd be back by 8. Told me call at 9 to arrange a date. Did you take it to the beach? That's what we planned. But she stood me up. Roxanne, Roxanne.
Clap it up, clap it up. We
That
are back
was my
officially on the Man Cave Morning Show.
Oh my God.
WBKS1.com.
Classics, classics.
When it's classic,
Jesus.
when it's good music,
Yes.
it's timeless.
Oh my God.
Yeah, when I tell you that me and my sister, when I moved out the house and we had to decide who's gonna keep what records and what, the fight that we had over Menudo and U.T.F.O. It was so disgusting.
Hold on. Who won?
My sister, because she's the oldest one, and I'm not.
darn.
So now I have to try to find my own.
Pass me
vinyls.
the burgundy pinstripe leaves.
Yo.
My Cazal.
That was one of the first raps that I learned. Like, for
No
real.
doubt.
God.
Crazy.
No doubt.
How many of y'all on the check-in remember that? If y'all remember that record, phone lines is open. Call in 646-233-1302. You already know what it is,
Now
man.
you know
Man
the
Cave
phone
Morning
line's
Show.
about to be tied up.
Now,
Everybody know that
listen.
song.
This is when my DJ skills were at its highest. I used to cut that record up so much. I still got the record at my crib, and the record looked white. The grooves look white.
Wow.
That's
From all the
crazy.
scratches.
Yes. Bro, just tell everybody, man, how young you was.
I was 17 years old during the height of Roxanne. I got into the business at late 15, 16, in which I was professionally dancing for Houdini.
Yeah, I remember that.
So that was my industry start. And yeah, man, I was a kid, bro.
So first record deal. That was first 17.
Yes. I was 16 when I signed the deal.
Wow. Okay.
17, yeah.
And it was with what label again?
Select Records.
Select Records. I remember Select.
So do I.
Yeah.
remember
Kid and
Select.
Play, Chubb Rock. A few success came out of that.
Now, what did it feel getting signed at 17? All right. And then tell us the experience when you first heard your record on radio.
Well, getting signed was a little teeth pulling for us. Like, we just wanted it to happen. You think all this is just add water and stir. And my manager, God rest his soul, Steve Salem, was saying, before we sign the contract, we got to make sure it's right. And the lawyers are looking at it. And that was taking forever. Like, look, man, we just want to be stars, man. Where do we sign? We wasn't even thinking about the business. And so once we finally did sign and we're in the studio doing this for real, it hit me as I'm in my neighborhood in Brooklyn, New York, and I'm hearing my song play on the radio as the cars go by. It's playing and the cars going by. I'm like, yo, are you serious? And so, of course, that's a great feeling. But two things happened that made me it made me realize I had a hit.
Okay.
One was when I heard the radio station play the song, and after it ended, the air personality said, "We got so much requests for this song, we got to play it again."
Wow.
That's when I was like, "Oh my God!" Like I've never heard that to any song.
Right.
So that's when I lost it. And my second time losing it is when I found myself on the stage of Soul Train.
Wow.
Now, mind you, I grew up watching Soul Train, and nothing but stars stand on that big
stage.
train
Right.
platform. You know how the stage has the train painted on it?
Yes. Right.
When I was standing on that, I was like, yo, hold up. All my life, I've watched stars stand here. Yo, I must be that.
Right.
Like, there's no other reason why I'm here right now.
Right.
And so that was the second eye-opening for me.
All right. So you getting a lot of love in the chat, bro. Shout out to Ramona Woods. She said, "Hello, KANGO from Lincoln University, 85."
Okay. Hello.
I guess you did a show there or something.
I guess I did.
Okay.
I guess I did.
33 years ago.
How about that?
Let's read Demetrius'
You
comment.
said, Lord, that's when hip hop was popping.
Yes.
Plus, this is my jam, and I played it at my 41st birthday party last night.
Wow. Thank you.
That's dope.
Dee Dee Graham
Thank you.
said, taking me way back. I feel you.
It was crazy because I didn't know this is what we were doing, yo. You know what I mean? I did not. I mean, I grew up watching, Shields and Yarnell do their dance routine and wanted to be a dancer. Tom Jones, you know, Donnie and Marie.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And so I'm watching all these cats and saying, I want to do this when I get older, not knowing that I was going to become this dude, like for real. Right. And it's still surreal to me.
Right. That's good, man. 33 years later, still surreal. That says a lot.
You know what? Whew, I don't even want. Oh my God. Okay, so
Yo, let me just say this. This morning, I got a text, a Facebook message, not Instagram message from Melba Moore. Yo, that hit me.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like, yo, Melba hit me.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so it's just crazy. It's still surreal. I can't believe I'm this dude.
What I want to know is did you understand how you shifted rap from "and the chicken tastes like wood" from that to longer, more lyrical, more melodic?
No, it took a while. It took a while for me to realize this. Okay,
where lyricism, where the MC was extendedly rapping, just rapping and rapping and rapping. I'm sorry, I'm excited. And number two, how the scratching became like a part of the beat itself. It just wasn't accent. It was like the scratching itself became a part of the rhythm section.
Okay, well that's a two-parter. That's a two-parter. All right.
So I want to ask you that my whole life.
No,
So sorry.
I'm not mad at you. All right. So as far as the shifting,
yes.
No, I didn't recognize how it was happening or so on. And the only way I can give you a great example of that is the difference between you having a child at home that grows and someone who visits you annually or every 2-3 years they visit. They see how the child has grown.
Right.
Okay.
So you don't see the growth because you see the kid every day.
Right.
But that person that ain't see the kid in 2 years ago, oh my God, she got so big.
Right.
You know what I mean? So my changing hip hop, I didn't realize it while it was happening. Years later, you look back and you go, yo, hold up, we did that first. And if it wasn't for us, this wouldn't have happened.
Lyricism.
And so all of that stuff I didn't see until after the fact. Again, like someone visiting a child,
right.
X amount of years.
You was there
apart.
every day, so
absolutely.
You didn't see this.
All right. So now, as for your second question, the scratching.
Yes.
We attribute that to Full Force. They get all the props for what you just described. In which Full Force is a musical family. They're a band.
Right.
Okay. And so when they were putting the group together, U.T.F.O. and formulating this whole thing, they looked at our DJ as the group's band.
Right.
So his turntable was his instrument.
Yes, yep.
So they said, okay, here's what we're going to do. While he's doing this, we want you to follow it with the scratch and so on, and utilize the turntable as an instrument.
As an instrument.
That's how that happened.
Instrument.
So I can't take credit for that and so on. That was absolutely Full Force's doing.
Respect.
I learned all ice scratches, man.
Like
straight up, like
the bar was set. The bar was set because prior to that, everyone was
Nobody
just going chicka.
He was on another level.
Like,
you know what I mean?
When you heard him scratch, you knew who he was.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you could tell who the DJ was because, and that's yes,
and that was important for all of us, man. To all have identities,
right?
Yes,
you know what I mean. So
here,
my hat was mine. Educated rapper.
Right.
He went to college.
Right.
So he was the educated rapper. It's like, now I'm taking this school thing in with me. Doc was a break dancer, to begin with, and so he moved like he was on ice when he was doing his moonwalk. So that's where the Dr. Ice came from. Mixmaster Ice his birth name is Maurice. The last 3 letters of his name is ICE.
Right.
So he's like, nah, because we were saying, look, we can't have 2 Ices in the group, man. Somebody got to change their name, and they were both like, nah, we're not changing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so Mixmaster Ice, he was the master of that mix, yo.
And rest in peace, man, to the educated rapper.
Yes, sir.
Where was you at when you heard the news, bro?
He kept it a secret. No one knew that he was ill. And when we did find out, it was Mixmaster that hit me with a text and said, I'm in town and you need to come to the hospital. And and he didn't give me no more information, so I didn't know if it was him who wasn't feeling well and so on. So immediately, I headed out, and when I got there, he comes in to greet me. I'm like, okay, well, and he's good. So then if it ain't him, it's got to be one of the other 2.
Right.
And as I'm following him, because he still wouldn't tell me what the deal was, as I'm following him, then I see Doc in the hallway. I'm like, oh my God, it's E. And so I walked into the room. So all 4 of us were together for the first time in probably like 2 decades.
Wow.
You know?
Wow.
And so we were all in the room with him, and you know, he wasn't himself. You know what I mean? And he was literally skin and bones. Wow. I'm just keeping that real.
Wow. Right.
You know, because even Mixmaster said he didn't recognize him when he walked in, and none of us recognized him.
Crazy.
You know, so he kept it a secret. And so days after we were all in the room with him, about like 3 days after that, he passed away. Wow. And he, you know, he had cancer. Wow. But yeah, no one knew, man. You know, Mixmaster lives in Columbus, Ohio, so he found out from a relative of E and didn't believe it, so he flew in to confirm. And when he confirmed it, he immediately hit us like, "Yo, you know, he's got X amount of time. Everyone need to get down here."
Right. Yeah, definitely, man. Respect. It's funny, man. I was just looking at that album the other day. And, and I'm like,
what?
Like, when, you know, with U.T.F.O, you don't realize like how that changed.
It changed everything. It changed everything.
We were the first to do so many things, yo, because hip hop was brand new at that time. We're one of the first nationally recognized rap groups. You know, because rap was always happening, of course, in New York City. You know, in the boroughs and so on, and battles always existed in the boroughs. You know, that was all part of hip hop. But in terms of someone in North Carolina or Sacramento knowing that New York rapper, that didn't exist until, you know, cats like us and Fat Boys and LL and Run DMC. You know, we became that nationally known group.
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
Sorry. Did you get your deal with KANGOL before Run DMC got the Adidas deal, or was it
funny story?
Yeah.
I am hip hop's first product endorsed artist.
So it's before the Adidas deal.
Yes, and the way and the way that took place is it started off as a cease and desist letter.
Oh wow.
Okay. I was using the name unlawfully, according to them, and the record company received a letter stating that I must stop going by the name of KANGOL Kid. And so while the label and the headwear company was dealing with all of this, they realized that every city I performed in, their sales went up.
Yeah.
So they fell back from the lawsuit and allowed me to use the name on a year-to-year basis.
Wow.
Provided that I do nothing to discredit the company, so I couldn't get arrested. I had to keep the nose clean. You know, domestic violence. You know, can't hit the chick. You know, all that stuff.
So if you got caught with some weed, it would have been
a rap. And so I did that. I kept my name, you know, my nose clean.
Amazing, man.
The only record I have is on the charts. I ain't got a record nowhere.
Right.
And so they couldn't take the name back now if they wanted. It's synonymous with hip hop history. They gave me the deal to keep the name. It wasn't a monetary deal at all, but it was a product endorsed deal in which they provided me with hats. They've been doing that for years, and we're now discussing turning that around, and with all going well, hopefully I will have my signature series hat.
Well, bro, let me tell you, I'm gonna keep it 100 too. So everybody know I'm notorious for wearing
his KANGOLs, yes.
For the KANGOLs. But listen, I'm gonna keep it 100. You know, I keep it. I tell the truth. He rocks the KANGOL like nobody else could rock the KANGOL. I wore the Fango.
You know
what? The Fango is a fake ass KANGOL.
I've never heard that. So that's funny.
All those
fake
KANGOL, all your
fake
see, you know that y'all see me and y'all be like, yo, no, rocking those KANGOLs.
That's right.
It wasn't the KANGOL. It was the Fango.
Jesus. His had an ostrich on it.
My early days, didn't have nothing on it. My early days, I couldn't afford the KANGOL.
Yeah, neither
so
could
I rocked the Fango. When the KANGOl was costing like what, $50, whatever like that. I would be on
Canal
with the $10 joint.
You know, it's so funny because I was always the one with the hats in the group. I think that was like my first 2 purchases, but 2 baby balloon ones, one cashmere looking one and the regular joint.
Cashmere KANGOL.
And somebody stole my cashmere one. I was so hurt.
I got the official KANGOls now, but I'm just saying that.
And real quick, Rock Roger just chimed in and said he had the red one. He said, "Yo, tell KANGOL I said what's up. I don't see those turntables with him."
Yeah, man, I'm on that. I did my first gig, Rock. I'm DJ KANGOL Kid now.
Nice. All right.
To the world,
I did my first DJ gig in Allentown a few weeks back. Nice. So they come in, Rock. I'm coming.
Speaking of KANGOLs, one of his KANGOLs is in the Smithsonian.
Yes.
How crazy is that, man?
Yes.
I still, I gotta say this.
How did that
I
come
can't
about?
believe
That's
I'm
insane.
that dude, yo. This is so
Wow.
crazy.
That's God.
This is so crazy, for real.
The Smithsonian
This was not
African-American-
my
Yes.
plan. This was his.
That's God.
That's right.
You know, how did
right.
that happen? Again, I just addressed the fact that I'm hip hop's first product endorsed artist. It's synonymous with the history, and they reached out to me and said we would be honored to have your hat in the museum. And what's crazy about them addressing me, and I'm so saddened about what I'm about to share with y'all, I didn't take it as that great thing as everyone else did.
Right,
you know,
right.
and the reason why is because prior to that, I had a few people address me with them putting together such, you know, a museum of such caliber and so on, and they wanted my hat and so on, and it never happened. So as they approached me, I'm like, yeah, okay, sure, okay, yeah, no problem. You want to? No, I got you. Hey, you want to? Sure. You want this one? All right, cool. I was all like that about it, not knowing that this was the museum,
Right.
the museum that President Obama did the ribbon cutting for.
That's right.
And I'm there for this event, and it wasn't like until a day or two before this happened that it hit me like, hold up, Kang, your hat's in there, bro.
Right.
Right.
And that's when I got excited, you know. And then when I actually went inside, and I went in with my baby girl, 3 years old. She'll be 3 years old at the end of the month. And I'm saying to myself, as she's looking at my hat in the museum,
Wow,
that
that's history, man.
that she'll have her grandchildren
Legacy.
here
That's
looking
right.
at this hat and so on. And that's when it started to hit me like, yo, this is an incredible thing that's taking place right
Absolutely.
now.
Legacies.
Yeah.
So yeah. So one of the
Speaking to the
Oh,
mic. Oh, she got to flip the switch. This is the
KANGO,
switch.
cut a mic on.
I didn't
Boom.
know.
Is it on?
There you go.
Microphone check.
Yeah.
One, two, what is this?
So they sent a representative from the museum, and he went into his
Vault
of hats.
Because I keep
He keeps them all.
all my hats. I keep them all.
And they picked one of his very first. I believe the hat may be as old as his career. Has had it since.
Wow.
That's nuts.
Wow.
So yeah, because I gave them like 4 hats to choose from, and they looked at it, and each one had a different story of, you know, I broke down like where I was during that time and so on, and they chose the one that they chose. But it's just crazy that I'm that dude, yo, and I'm still shocked by it. For real, like you hear me losing my mind that Melba hit me. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm yo, it's crazy.
Yeah, but
No word to explain.
One of the things I love about when he was talking about the endorsement is that how they said, you know, as long as you keep your hand
Yes,
clean.
I was checking that
and
too.
since I known this brother, and we always
no
ran
dirt.
into each other in a lot of circles
Right.
and everything. He's always had just a good reputation.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? You don't never hear his name out there, you know, on a negative light in the news or
Yes.
anything like that. And this is the example. When we talk about examples and role models or whatever like that in hip hop, you have them. But we don't talk about them a lot.
Right.
And you know
we
what's
talk
sad-
about the negative thing.
What's sad about that is because I don't have that, I feel, in my opinion, is why I'm not at a certain level like others are at. You know what I mean? Like, if me and Bobby Brown get hired to speak at a gig, he's getting way more dough because he's got way more stuff that has happened in his life on that level that you're saying that I was not a part of. You know what I mean? I was a hip hop nerd. I've never smoked weed. All right.
That's right, bro.
I'll be 52 next week. And I started drinking, I guess, in my late 30s, early 40s is when I started to drink socially. You know what I mean? I ain't a drinker,
Right.
but, you know, I'll go to a party and I'll, you know, whatever. But I was a hip hop nerd. So, no, I wasn't into all that crazy stuff. I mean, I went to Catholic school, so I don't know if that played a role in me being this dude.
Me too.
You know what I mean? So again, with all of that, I don't know if it's a gift or curse or a curse in which I did not get into any of that negative stuff.
It's a gift.
It's a beautiful thing.
I hear you, but as you watching these other cats that overcame all of their negativities and where they are, like, yo, you know what? Maybe I should have, you know,
Cut up.
that, you know, robbed that, you know, shot that, you know.
but see what I like though when
That's
you talk about recognition
Right.
and awards and stuff like that, you got to bring up the Mama Luke Foundation. You know, you have to see. That's
Yes, sir.
what sets you above the rest, and why it's great that you always, you know what I'm saying? Because
Well, let me share with the listeners
Yes.
what that is. about 5 years ago, my manager's mom passed away. My manager's name is Shonda Lumpkin. Her mom was Gay Frances Lucas, and so we called her Mama Luke. And she was like a mom to me. And prior to that, I've never dealt with anyone going through cancer. She had breast cancer. And so, you know, I didn't know what to expect. I just knew that I'm watching her deteriorate. You know what I mean? And so even as she's getting chemo, I'm there with her, and I'm singing to her as she's going through her, you know, therapy and so on, and doing what it is that I can, because I can't, you know, I can't do anything. And so when she passed, I said, you know, there's got to be something we can do to keep others from going through this. And I realized and learned that that can be reversed if it's caught early enough. So I said, okay, well, we need to get this word out. And hip hop are the news anchors to the streets. Like, I never knew what Compton was. I live in Brooklyn. I didn't know Compton until NWA said Straight Outta Compton. So they brought that news across, the, you know, across the U.S. to us. And so I said, you know, we can use that same forum to get the word out to everyone, to our people, because black women are mostly affected by this disease. So I said, look, we can get to our black women if we get together and put that word out. And so I formed, my manager and I, Shonda, formed Mama Luke, and hooked up with the American Cancer Society, and raised money in Newark, New Jersey, and you know, just it was just a thing to get the word out. That's all it was, and it still is. You know, we got to get back into that whole thing. Of course, me having my baby girl changed everything, because my whole family is nothing but men. There's 5 boys. Then my brothers and I all had sons as well. You know what I mean? And so the fact that here I am now with a little girl changes like so much. Like the word niece, sister, granddaughter, these are all new words that were never used in my family. You know what I mean? And so that changed a lot. So this movement means even more to me now. And that's all it was, man. It was just, you know, I got this power that we were just talking about that came from above, and I used that to help others, man. That's all that was.
Absolutely. But you received an award for that too. And
which I wasn't looking for any.
Yeah, I know.
Right.
Wasn't looking for any. And so so American Cancer Society, you know, blessed me with an award for this, making me again hip hop's first artist to be honored by the American Cancer Society.
That is a big
How
thing.
crazy again is that? Because I didn't do it for that reason.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Now speaking of little girl, we talking about the youth today,
right?
And the music today, and the respect level that the youth has or doesn't have for our era of music. Let's talk about that. Do you think and first of all, what do you think of today's music?
Today's music is not for me.
Okay, same here.
All right, it's for them, and I have to respect that. And so many, you know, I've been asked this question. You can imagine how many times, being who I am, I get this question asked a lot, and I had to check myself a lot on how I addressed this. And my parents didn't understand what I was doing. They wasn't supposed to. My dad, you know, my mom and dad came from Haiti. So my dad came to America, and you know, he became a cab driver, stereotypically cab driver, and so on. And every parent from the West Indies comes out here and wants their children to be better. So they weren't hearing this rap thing. Like, how is that better? If you ain't a doctor, lawyer, engineer, I'm not really digging this rap thing. And so they didn't understand what I was doing. They later understood it once it took, you know, a life of its own. So I say that to say, we all got to ask ourselves, when did we become our parents? It happened at some point. We don't know exactly when it happened, but at some point we were like, oh, no, we can't be listening to that. That ain't cool, so and so on, because we outgrew that. So we're acting our age. They're acting their age. So, you know, I've had someone also say to me that these kids are not going to have those hit songs and that feeling about a hit song the way we have when we hear a Roxanne or so-and-so. And I tell them that's not true, because that song that plays at their high school prom or their college, whatever, when they become adults, that's going to be that song that makes them go, oh, man, I remember my college days. And so they're going to have that. They're going to have theirs. You know what I mean? So, again, respectfully, to answer the question, it's not mine. It's theirs. and they're acting their age. So for those out there that are out, saying whatever, discrediting women, or dissing this, or cursing and doing whatever, so on, they're gonna have children. They're gonna become parents, grandparents, or whatever. And go, hey, that ain't cool. At some point, they're gonna behave their age appropriately at whatever age. Those that do it, those like Kendrick Lamar and so on, they're just more mature. That's all that is. They're not the norm. You know what I mean? And like how you'll say, women mature faster than men. You know what I mean? That's always said. That's it is what it is. Right. And so we have to look at that like, they'll mature at their time.
Right.
So as the angry person on the panel, I like you have evolved because I got on the mic and was like, right. So, but I do want to ask an educated question. Hip hop has components, does it not?
Yes.
Graffiti writing, MCing,
right.
Break. There are components to hip hop.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Okay. So good. So now you have artists, right, that are not familiar with any of the components.
Yes.
I'm not. Don't look at me. No, I'm not even hating. I'm not. No.
And I agree with you. I'm not hating either. I have a disappointment.
Nothing. So, being here with Norm, listening to what I'm listening to, should I say that it's the birth of genre instead of me being mumble rap, but I can't freaking. It's too Dawood. Just humbly, sir. If I don't understand any of the lyrics. None of them.
Right.
Just none of them.
You split that up.
Yeah, if I don't understand any of the lyrics, right? Or if it's just just somebody making a noise or a rhythmic thing, are we witnessing the birth of another genre? Or am I just going to be old fat hating, talking about in my like sorry, last thing. I'll be like, listen, I'll be like this. Listen to this. Right? So these young, I'll be like, U.T.F.O. Listen to this song right here.
Right.
That's right. So do you think it's another form or is it still hip hop?
It is, unfortunately, because I agree with you, it is still hip hop. It's still under that umbrella. All right? Because if you look at rock, if you look at reggae and how it's all evolved, you will still look at this and go, well, that's a reggae-ish.
Right.
Whatever. It's still under that umbrella. And so until I hear you.
I think it's punk rap. Like rock and roll has punk rock.
Yes.
I think it's punk rap.
Punk rock is not rock. It's punk rock, right?
These kids will tell you they're not rap artists. They'll tell you, if you ask Little Uzi Vert, I'm a rock star.
Right.
Until it is officially labeled as what it is, it has to be recognized as that. Until someone goes and calls it punk rock, and then Billboard puts punk rap, and then Billboard creates a chart that says punk rap. Until that happens, we have no choice but to recognize it as that. In my world, again with the transitions, before there was a rap chart on Billboard, it was called Black Charts, and we all shared it. As U.T.F.O. single Roxanne being top 10 on the black charts, shared that with OJ's and Stevie Wonder and Michael Jackson. All of us were on the same chart. We were called black music. It wasn't even recognized as rap.
Right.
So years later, when they realized it is unfair for us to take this rap song and put it on the same chart with the OJ's, and they separated it. Until that happens, where they give it its punk rap title or whatever, we have no choice but to accept it as what it is, bro. It is under the umbrella of rap.
Clap that because I totally agree 300%. And see, he said one key word when he was, responding to your question. He said the word evolve. It's evolution. You know what I'm saying? Whether we like it or not,
right?
It's just evolution, how it goes. And if you go back to Cab Calloway, right? And how he used to, scat and do all that, whatever like that. It's evolved, man.
Yeah. And mind you, someone from that era would hear someone going with a hip, a hop, a hip, and they go, "Oh, he's scatting." Right. Say, "Nah, granddad, he's rapping."
Exactly.
No, he's scatting, according to him.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. So that's we just witnessing evolution, and think about our parents and how we are as parents
please.
today. Our parents is like, oh, there's noise or whatever like
No
that.
doubt.
When I was sitting there with the turntable, why are you messing up that record?
Exactly. Right. You know what I mean? So we don't have a choice, yo. We don't have a choice. It's gonna happen with us present or not, with our vote or not.
The legend has spoken.
But you know
I'm
what?
standing down.
If
My mom
you
will
really
be
think
pissed.
about it, if you really think about it, right?
Go ahead, dude.
Like 1983 was like Run DMC and them, right? And we were in the Run DMC King of Rock and you know all the different hits, right? And then like around 85, 86 when they dropped Roxanne, that was like a couple of years difference, and you could see the involvement then.
Right.
It was a big change. It was a big
No,
change
yeah.
because I grew up in church, and I remember hearing Roxanne and going against my mother Holy Ghost and breakdancing.
Yeah.
I'm serious at breakdancing where we put the cardboard out in the middle of the street.
It was a shift.
And I just watched all the guys breakdancing, and that song got me into breakdancing. I know y'all don't believe that now, but I did used to breakdance. I was a lot skinnier back then. But all jokes aside, so I remember the first time that I met KANGOL. It was at Deirdre Tate's party. We were in Harlem.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I remember coming up to you saying, you have no idea how much you made me such a breakdancer back then. We laughed about it.
Wow.
But my whole point was that it's something when, you know, I don't know, no one probably remember this, back in 1983, 85, you had 92 KTU rocking, Fat Boys, all these different stations. So
with
it's
Paco,
funny.
92 KT with Paco.
Right, but it's funny now.
Pablo
like,
Guzman.
Exactly.
Yes.
Now that even though, you know, the root and the root has to do with our genre,
right?
The root is, you know, grew into a tree, right? Roots grew into trees, and trees grow into branches. That's how hip hop is now. You know, the root is like what these guys, like what KANGOL and them was doing, what Run DMC and them was doing. That's the root. So when you ask the question about the difference in hip hop,
right, it's another branch.
It's another branch.
Yes,
right.
Just
It's the same
branch.
tree, yo.
Same tree.
Yeah.
Just another branch.
I mean,
That's true.
I mean, I don't like
think
the branch. I wouldn't hang
yeah,
off of it, but
I think for me, I feel the
Not
same
my
way.
branch, but okay.
I'm getting ready to snap the branch because, like, it's to a point. Like for me, you're not gonna tell our age, but you know, back 85, 86, I was a youngin', and for me, like, I was already listening to hip hop in a sense, but again, when my sister brought that U.T.F.O vinyl in that house and she played it, I had no idea what was gonna happen to my life. So I'm just there. I was busy, you know, with my Poison record. Also, I had all these vinyls and stuff because my mom made sure that we kept music in the house, you know. And my mother wasn't very, like, I'm not gonna say she didn't like hip hop, but there was certain, you know, how we like certain things we don't.
Right.
But when my sister played that, it was just like, oh. Yeah, it was like, what the hell? You know what I mean? And that was like my first taste of what we discussed last week of storytelling. They're telling a story about this girl they met, how they all basically tried to kick it to her, whatever, and they both got different responses. And it's like when you listen to hip hop now, and that's the only reason why I say I can't even, for myself, I can't put a lot of this music that's out now, and I'm not hating, but in that same category, because you don't get that sense of a story being told. You don't get that sense of what hip hop is supposed to feel like. Now, like you said, they're blurting out sounds, they're blurting out whatever they look like, whatever. You don't. It's like what happened to the essence of what you guys brought to the table.
Well, let me say this. All right,
that's what we're missing.
So I've been, you know, here with you guys for the last few minutes, pretty much defending or explaining everyone's area. But let me share my disappointment, though.
Okay.
All right, my disappointment is hip hop at one time was a spectrum. Okay, where you always had your gangster rap, NWA and your Cool G raps and so on. They were always gangsters and so on. But then you had your comedy, Fat Boys, Fresh Prince, you know, Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince. Even us, we had our little comedy, you know, moments. You had your sex symbols, you had your LL, you had your Big Daddy Kane. You know, what else? You had your political, of course, your Public Enemy, Arrested Development. KRS-One actually was gangster before he went into, you know, being very social conscious. You know what I mean? And so there was a whole spectrum. Then you had experimental, where Run DMC said, let's try rock. Nelly said, let's try country. So it's like everyone did a little, you know, and it was a very wide thing called hip hop. It was a big spectrum. I'm disappointed at how narrow that has gotten.
Yeah, because the vibe is gone.
You know what I mean? The
gone.
spectrum no longer exists.
So
So as I'm sitting here defending and so on, I will say I'm disappointed You guys are doing this cookie cutter thing, and everyone's talking about that same thing, and it's got to be the same tempo, and it's got to be the same song. It's like, nah, man. What happened to the love rap? What happened to the rock joint? What happened to the song?
It's, you
know what I mean?
You guys had a love for the culture.
And they have a love for the money. Yep.
Say that again. Yeah, well, whenever there's money involved in something, it changes it, of course.
So here's the problem, right? All right, so and shout out to Dricky Graham and a lot of the young cats that we're talking to as well. It's funny, right in that same seat, Melly Mel sat right in that same seat when he came here for an interview and everything, and it was an interesting interview because how you're walking kind of in the middle. You're not totally just disrespecting, the younger art form of today. But
Mel's in a different category. And I understand. And you know what? And I understand. You know what I mean? And in that category, Herc is in that category. Starsky, God rest his soul, was in that category. And I understand why, because those dudes did it. They created this. So, they're the disappointed parent. They're the ones who's like, look, I took you to church every Sunday. So-and-so, I raised you a certain way, and you're doing what today? Yeah. So they're totally disappointed in how this thing has turned out, and I understand where they're coming from. In my world, I gravitated to other things. Like I didn't just embrace that alone, as they have to allow them to be as disappointed as they are, rightfully so. I gravitated into songwriting, into music producing, managing artists. I took it into another world where I even honestly saw hip hop as a phase. I said, okay, this is gonna die any minute now. I'm sure it ain't gonna last that long. About hip hop, watching it come, and I also at some point started to watch it go. And going is when I saw the Fruity Pebbles commercial with Fred Flintstone and Barney Rubble, and they're breakdancing, and they got rock gold chains, and they're scratching on the turntable, and the bird with the beak had with the needle. I said, oh man, hip hop's about to be dead. If they got the Flintstones doing this on television, in a few years, this is about to go. So I was in my mindset, I'm gonna write for Lisa. I'm gonna write for this artist. I'm gonna write these songs and produce this. So I kind of left it, to do its thing. Someone like Melly Mel, this was his thing. Right. So for him to be disappointed and so on, I totally relate and understand him and his gripe. So yes, it is two different spectrums or two different areas between how he feels and how I feel. About this.
And just even piggyback further on that, when I spoke to the younger artists, a lot of them that's in the game now and relevant, whatever, and I spoke to them, they said, the problem is why I don't care about the old school, and they kept it real. They said the problem is because y'all don't have no respect for us, so why should I have respect for y'all?
Don't that sound like a parent and a child to you, bro?
And
that's what that is.
And at first, Kango, I wanted to get defensive, bro. I wanted to be like, what did you do? And I sat back, I said, yeah, because we do play him out. We quick. They'd be like, what is this crap and garbage? And with anybody, you know what I'm saying? If somebody talk about something you love, artists are what? Sensitive about their
Sure.
Right? So, and it's like, I'm like, wow, okay, so now, what's the solution for that? Because I speak to you, and I speak to Melly, and Melly's just keeping it, it's just garbage, it's just crap. Oh, I'm not rocking with none of this stuff. They bit from this and that. We was the original doing this, whatever. And so when they hear that, they feel disrespected. So I'm like, so I'm like, what do we do to bridge the gap? Yes. And please introduce yourself to everybody.
How are you? I'm Tajiri, I'm Kango's wife. What a lot of people don't understand or don't recognize, when you guys were coming out, there was no outside influence like MTV and BET and stuff to broaden the spectrum. We only saw hip hop from where in New York. These kids that are coming out have the country influence, they have the West Coast influence. Hip hop was always about telling your story from the streets, your struggle from the streets. We also have post crack epidemic where these kids, a lot of these kids were raised on their own. So if their minds are jumbled, we have a lot to blame on that part is also. But you have to realize it's a mix of all parts of hip hop culture right now. Country, New York. I'm not country. Down south.
Some of them sound like country, but go ahead.
West Coast. all coming together in a jumble, and everyone's, like you said, repeating each other. We met a young artist who didn't know who Kango was and said he never heard anybody before Biggie or Pac. And I said, so you don't do it for the love of the culture, you do it for the bag? And he said, absolutely. Isn't that what it's for? And I said, no, they did it for the love of the culture.
Now, what's sad about that is this is only in our culture. Because as we refer to ourselves, and I don't like this title, but I'm okay, you know, I understand everyone referring to us as old school. When it's in rock, it's called classic. Like, I would love to hear them say classic rap. But nah, that's old school.
Right.
It's already washed up.
Right.
You know, and kids today are so quick to, well, our culture is so quick to go, that thing expired.
Right.
That dance, we don't do that no more.
Right.
That word, we don't say that word no more.
Fresh.
They're so quick to expire things that we're deemed expired. When you have a rock family, you know, the culture of rock, where if AC/DC, Bon Jovi does a show, the people who were original fans are there, their children are there, and their children are all at that concert. 3 generations are at that concert. Our generation, our culture, nah, that's for my mom. I'm not going to go to that thing, and so on. We draw lines, and it's unfortunate that we don't embrace this thing and we discredit each other the way we do.
And real quick, and then we'll take it. One of the things I respect, though, is when we try to bridge the gap. So because I think it's important that we bridge the gap, because there's such a disconnect between our era and today's era. There's a big disconnect because nobody's trying to really embrace each other. So you got classic hip hop artists. I'm gonna start using classic now.
Please do.
Classic hip hop artists that are like, man, I ain't rocking with none of this new stuff. And then you got the younger ones like old school stuff or whatever. But then you get an artist like Macklemore, and yeah, he don't look like us. But you get an artist like Macklemore that calls up Melly Mel and the Furious Five and say, get down on this joint with me. There needs to be more than that. See, that would help bridge the gap.
I agree.
If we started doing that. Now, I would love to see some of these young cats take a U.T.F.O record and call Kango up and be like, you know what? Come and spit 16 bars on this, whatever like that. And we want to use a little sample from your joint and blah, blah, blah. That
would
needs
be
to
great.
happen.
There's a loss in our, not just in music, but in our history. You can't know where you're going if you don't know where you come from. You
Put the clap on that, please.
You can't speak about, you know, black rights and power to the people and not know who Malcolm X is. You have to do your history. You have to know your history. You have to respect your history, or no one else will.
The queen has spoken.
Yes.
My queen. Thank you so much. If you call yourself a pianist, right? You play the piano. You're a musician. You play the piano, right? And the extent of your knowledge is Billy Joel is the greatest piano player I've ever heard. And you say to me, not only do I not know who Chopin is, but I don't care. You can't call yourself a pianist. You cannot. While I am for bridging the gap, and I am for, and I'm around young people. If you are a musician and you're practicing your art, a part of calling yourself anything is having a knowledge of what came before. Now,
agreed.
You are talented and you're rhythmical, right? And you got the click-clack track going on and you're rhythmical, right? But you are not hip-hop if you don't have knowledge of hip-hop.
True indeed.
Right? So, number one. Number two, young people never listen to older people, and older people always say, listen to me. But how I came up, do you think I would tell my father, you don't understand and I don't care about what you said? My father didn't give two dag-ons about what my opinion is. So what did I do? I watched. Look, I talked under my breath. Dad, what'd you say, what?
Right.
Whereas with us, we don't get that respect of shut up and just watch me. You have to be around me to absorb. Everything is not talking. Sometimes you have to be around a master. See, and there's no mastery with some of these artists. That's why it drives me crazy. To you, sir, to you and your family. When my father listened to the Coltrane and Miles Davis and Sketches of Spain, and of course, I let him hear Run DMC, King of That. When I played him U.T.F.O, he heard the music of it and said, instead of right, when he heard the syncopation and the musicality of it, right, he connected to the music. If that's not there, because you don't play an instrument, you haven't studied your craft, right? If I say spit, I don't spit, I'm a rock star. Well, okay, you follow what I'm saying?
Right,
this is why I'm trying to be nice. But how can you do that and call yourself that? You cannot. And that's what I want to say to you. And I know, oh, Daoud, shut up. Oh, you're hating this, that, and the third. How can you move the culture forward talking about I'm a revolutionary and never heard Malcolm X?
Right.
That's stupidity, and I will never get off of that, ever. I don't care how nice we need to be to these kids. Come on, fam.
They lack the vocabulary that the older artists have as well.
Right.
There was intelligence, and if they had something to say,
Clap.
therefore it was clear. These kids are cursing over everything they say, and there's not much being said. You're angry, we get it.
Right.
Why?
Exactly.
Tell us
Kango
why.
was angry too.
Right.
Tell me why you mad, son.
Maybe for real. For real.
Right. Yes.
For real.
Yes,
Then
man.
maybe we might have something to listen to at least. It's ridiculous.
Exactly. No, man, I get it. 300%.
I'm sorry. Can you imagine if Kango, hey, B word, Roxette? Would there even be a song?
Right.
If you just, I'm angry at you.
Well, he did do Skeezer Pleaser. Skeezer was a bad one.
Yeah, Skeezer was a bad. So you were a bad boy in hip hop.
I was acting my age.
Shout out to Skeezers everywhere. We thank you, Skeezers.
We thank you.
The
Now,
link
made us who we are today.
between the classic and the new artist. Watch your kids.
Right.
We have younger teenagers, so I watch my kids. I dance to the music. I listen to it. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm a dancer. I move to music.
Right.
You know, but watch your kids, and you can tell them why they shouldn't listen to certain things. Because some of it, I'll tell my kids, cut that off. Act like I'm standing here.
For real.
We're gonna come right back because Kango's got something popping tomorrow.
Yes,
I want you to talk about it.
Yes, sir.
As soon as we come right back.
Alrighty.
Wyclef Jean, BKS1 Radio. Let's go.
This is Essence Atkins, and this is BKS1 Radio.
Hi, this is Melba Moore, and you're listening to BKS1 Radio.
Yo, check it out. What's the deal? This the chef. Giving a big shout out to my peoples. Big KS, you already know what it is. Salute.
What's up? It's your girl Monifa, and I'm hanging with BKS1 Radio.
Hi, I'm Ian Van Zan, and you're listening to BKS1 Radio.
BKS Radio, baby.
Hey, this is Jasmine Guy for BKS1 Radio.
What's going on? This is Lamont Rooker, and this is BKS1 Radio.
Shout out to BKS1, the best kept damn secret in the business.
Hey, what's up? This is Raven Goodwin from BET's Being Mary Jane, and shout out to BKS1.
Hi, this is Leon. You're watching BKS1 Radio.
BKS1.
God bless y'all. Yo, this is Chris Spencer, and you're on BKS1 Radio.
It's your girl Chanel, BKS1 Radio, and I'm here with the beautiful Garcelle Bouvet.
I'm paying you later.
Hey, I'm the queen of comedy, some more, and right now you're rocking with BKS1 Radio.
BKS1 Radio Network. I'm here with the amazing Miss Tasha Smith. How you doing?
I'm doing so good. Thank you for coming out.
Yes.
I really appreciate it.
Hello, Denise Boutte. Hey, what's up? Shout out to BKS1 Radio. See you soon.
Brick City's finest, J.D. Williams. I'm in the Savage Podcast Studio, chilling at BKS1 Radio.
BKS1 Radio. I'm here with the legendary Mr. Dick Gregory. How you doing today, sir?
Fantastic, brother, and thank you.
This is Essence Atkins, and this is BKS1 Radio.
Jamie Foxx, BKS1 Radio. What's going on with you?
Storming up. This is George Dr. Funkenstein Clinton for BKS1 Radio. They be doing the dog, y'all.
Yo, this is Chris Spencer, and you're on BKS1 Radio.
It's your girl Chanel, BKS1 Radio, and I'm here with the beautiful
Tomorrow, something special is happening.
That is correct.
I need you to tell the listeners and the audience, tell the world what's going on, fam.
All right. Well, let me first say that my birthday is August 10th. All right. That's in about.
Big up.
That's in about what? 4 days, 5 days, 4 days, 4 days. Yeah. You get old, you lose track of time. And so, And so I am celebrating my birthday tomorrow on the Shadow Boat Ride, the longest running boat ride in New York City, derived from the Shadow Club. If you guys remember the Shadow, the people that ran that, Jody ran that, years ago, and so it's transformed now into this boat ride, and I've done it annually now for like 3 years, and so tomorrow that is going down. Y'all need to come down. Follow me on Instagram, Yo KANGOL. It's YOKANGOL. Don't forget the L. Cats love to forget the L. I take my L's. All right? Yo KANGOL. You'll get all the information on that. It's going down tomorrow. Pier 40, West Side Highway, and what is that? Houston Street.
Yes.
Of course, my celebrity friends always come out and hang out. Allure. All right, that's Kiss over there. She and her girls are gonna come out. They were there last year. They blessed me with singing "Happy Birthday" to me. It was incredible. Again, go to my page. You'll see a clip of that. Let's see, Dinko D from Leaders of New Schools coming down. Just Ice. Not Just Ice, I'm sorry. Not a wrong word. King Just. Sorry. King Just. That's right. King Just is coming out. Full Force. Roxanne Shante. Lisa is coming down. I had to save that for last because Lisa's my girl. We came out, from the same camp, the same Full Force camp. Full Force is going to be there as well. And it's just incredible that she's agreed to come through. Full Force always comes out, and a lot of people always come out and so on. But this is the first time Lisa's coming out to like my birthday joint. I'm like, yes, thank you.
BKS1 Radio will be in the building.
Please come through. And what's so crazy is that I'm gonna have all these incredible, legendary vocalists on there. Who's gonna sing Happy Birthday? I don't know. It's gonna toss a coin or something. You draw straws, engine number 9. I don't know. We'll figure it out. No doubt. You know what I mean? We'll figure it out. But it's going to be an incredible thing. There was a time that I used to hide my age, and the reason why is because I kept myself up. You know what I mean? My secret is push-ups and hair dye. All right, I've been slacking on the push-ups, but I keep the hair dye stocked. You know what I mean? So I hid my age for how long? People say, "How old are you?" And my response would be that chick's response. Well, how old do I look? I was that dude for a long time.
Safe answer.
But I've embraced becoming 52 because I look forward to being 62, to being 72, 82. You know what I mean? Yep. So the fact that I get to celebrate this with close friends and family and so on, it's something to applaud. It absolutely is that, because a lot of us didn't make it. You know what I mean? My good friend Heavy D, he didn't make it. You know what I mean? There's a bunch of cats like us back in the day that didn't see this. So when I get to see it, I'm like, yo, we got to celebrate it. Yo, I made it again. I'm here. I'm still here. And so we're doing that tomorrow, man, at the Shadow Boat Ride. Y'all need to come down, celebrate. Cool DJ Red Alert, I'm sorry, is going to be the headline DJ.
That's my dude.
So y'all need to come out. He's the one who broke Roxanne in New York City. Him, Chuck Chill Out, Mr. Magic, you know what I mean? So I'm not going to discredit any other cats who did that. Red played his major role in doing that as well.
Shout out to Red.
And so he's going to be there celebrating the birthday with me. Y'all need to come out, man. That's all I'm saying. Get your tickets now. Go to my page. You'll see the link. I'm sure it's on Kiss page as well.
Here go the flyer right here.
Yes,
all right, there it is. So please come out, man.
You.
It's going to be a good thing. And I hope to see y'all, man.
No doubt.
My birthday, yo, 52. Crazy is that, yo? I crossed the 50 threshold.
Hey,
I'm looking forward to 6-0.
52 is a blessing. See, he 52, I'm 51. I'll be 52. So,
yes, sir.
That's what's up. Hey, we still rocking though. Looking good, bro.
Thank you.
Indeed.
Thank you. I'm a Devo, not a diva. I'm a Devo. You know what I mean? I'm that dude that I got to make sure my hair and everything is right before I take the garbage out. Somebody might see me.
Your wife is nodding.
I'm him, Devo.
Now, here's the last question.
Yes, sir.
I could kind of relate because usually, like, my significant other always rocks with me and is very instrumental in what I do when I do events or whatever like that. So we kind of like, we the Bonnie and Clyde team and everything. Just tell us how it is working together, rocking out with each other, and always repping with the fam. And I see you do that a lot. How is it just being together, working around each other, just everything?
Kank was my first manager.
Turn down
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah. Say that.
Kango,
Really now?
Kango. Well, no. Back then, I'm 44. Back then, there was absolutely no thoughts of us being together. But Kango was my twin sister and I's first dance manager. We danced for a group that he was putting together back then, and the group didn't work out. We went out separate ways, didn't see each other for 25 years. My sister and I started dancing for Shaheem Wu-Tang Clan affiliates.
Okay.
And a few years back, we ran into each other at Stevie D's birthday party.
From Force MDs.
Force MD, shout out to Staten Island, where I reside and represent. But that's how he and I got back together and became friends. Went further. We now have the baby, and he's my best friend, my best support team. And I think both of our understanding of the industry makes it easier.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
And this is what we do. You know what I mean? It's like this isn't something we're trying to do. This is me. I am this thing called hip hop.
Right.
So my day-to-day operation, my phone calls, me being on Instagram, I'm not playing. I'm working. Whoever it is, I'm hitting back or promoting whatever event or trying to hook up with that other thing to make that other thing happen and so on. That's a tool for me to work with. You know what I mean? So you have other relationships where, you know, the wife will go, get off your phone, you're always on your phone.
Right.
Well, maybe he's playing whatever game he's playing on, whatever, so on. You know, in my family, we know that he's on that phone working.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So the understanding of what we do, and if we go out, we're not, you know, going to the movies may be a production. Because we do know that we got to set that time so that someone's going to want to take a picture. So we got to get there early enough so I can take that picture with that fan or do that thing so that we can so-and-so. Got to make sure I look right because that picture's going to get mileage.
Right.
And
you know what I mean?
We want the picture to look good, and I'm the wife that says, hug him like you love him.
You know what I mean?
I don't want no raggedy picture. Hug him like you love him.
You know what I mean? So we understand.
Yeah, that's
this is,
I saw you do it last year on the boat.
You know what I mean?
Oh my God! Yeah,
so this is what we do.
Hysterical.
So, you know, as you say, you know, so how is it doing? It's like asking a doctor, well, how is it, you know, performing surgery? It's what I do.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I might not have been able to marry a gynecologist, but a hip hop artist, I'm good with.
She's funny.
Hilarious.
All right, so with that being said,
Oh man,
do y'all have like hip hop arguments? Like, oh nah, this was the best such and such. Nah, this was the best such and such. Do y'all have that?
Yeah,
That's interesting.
Yeah, we've had that, and what's funny is that I'm introducing her to a world that she didn't know, and that world is, there's a line, and she's crossing that line. We have this conversation all the time where I've always been this celebrity dude, and she's been on, you know, on the other side of the fence, and there's certain things that she may want to say about a particular celebrity. I'm like, honey, you can't say that now. We know.
Right.
We know her. You can't post that.
Right.
He'll call us. You know what I mean?
Right.
That actually happened to me. Someone made a meme and sent it to me, and it was funny. And I went to post it and said, "Oh no, this person follows me." And
you know what I mean? So I'm like, yo, we can't. So we do have certain arguments. I remember one argument we had was regarding Nicki Minaj.
Okay.
And she had you as to who Nicki is and so on. So I'm like, I know Nicki. Nicki would. We recorded together. That's my sister. And so what you're saying it from a fan point of view or from an outsider. That ain't her. That ain't so and so. You got to understand where she came from. And so we have those type of arguments. And then it'll be a situation where she'll get to meet someone like a Nicki and so on. Wow, I see what you're saying. She's so cool. Or he's so cool.
I was corrected a few times
I mean?
meeting different individuals because I had an outside perception and I allowed it. Sorry.
Thank you.
I had an outside perception and stupidly I was like, yeah, but this person, did you see this, did you see that? And he said, but you don't know them. And then when I met the person, I literally cried once.
Wow.
Because I allowed social media to give me a mindset of an individual.
Right.
When I met the person and the person actually addressed what took place, I teared up. I was like, I need to be you don't even know what I said about you, but I'm sorry.
Right.
So yes, we do have those arguments.
I've learned not to do that anymore.
I so identify with that because I'm new and he has me around all of these people and I'm like, wow, I really misjudged, right? Okay, so violins, strings over. Can you be great, legend, sir, if you don't write what you say?
I knew you was on.
I knew that was coming. I was waiting.
Yes.
No, I
got the legend here. I'm gonna ask.
Yes, yes.
Go ahead.
Because your job was to convey that, to present that. And if you did that,
I'm being outnumbered here.
If you did that, you did a great thing.
In Puffy's words, don't worry if I write rhymes. I write checks.
There you go.
It's delivery. A lot of
It's the
R&B
delivery.
artists don't write their songs, but they're great at what they do.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's the way it was presented. I mean, let's look at someone like.
But you should be honest about it.
Exactly.
Don't present a falsehood
right,
about it.
Right. Denzel Washington. I don't think he wrote every script he ever did, but he did his thing on that person's
King
work.
Kong ain't got nothing
Whoever
on
that
him.
person is who wrote those words, for him to do that thing, he delivered it incredibly. So he gets credit not for being a writer, for being the actor. He's not getting credit as the writer for those words he said. He's being credited for conveying it
For
properly.
bringing it to life.
So he's great for what he does.
May not be a great artist, a great writer, but they're a great artist. If they consider themselves an artist, then they're presenting their art form.
And how about the person who wrote something whack, but that person is so good at what he does, that whack thing's so hot, but he didn't write it.
No. Listen,
you know what I mean?
I'm definitely being schooled, but you know, greatness is, and Big Daddy Kane may not have sold, but there's no denying
that
what
he's an amazing.
That he's great, right?
He's a great writer as well.
Maybe
is what that is.
Maybe I should start saying artist.
They're
Right,
artists.
because when I see you with the mic, Ron, I'm like, oh, you're a rapper. You know, maybe I should start saying artist. And I backed up from my hate a lot. You know what I'm saying? I'm still gonna have my opinions about stuff.
No,
you know
I
what
hear
mean?
you, but you can't
just in my
blur the
mi-
two lines. Is what I'm
but
saying.
in my mind, I'm like, okay. So as hip hop has grown and grown and grown and grown and grown and grown, it's artistry, which I respect. But to my way of thinking, that pure thing in my mind, it's like, okay, that's how I'm gonna always see it.
When my twin sister and I were younger, Mercury, may he rest in peace, from Foursome D's, wanted to sign us as rappers.
Right.
At the time, I didn't write. I did dibble and dabble, but I said, I'm not going to present something someone else writes. Back then in hip hop, if you didn't write, you were trash.
Right.
So, I'm not going to do that. If I knew then what I know now,
right.
Little Kim wouldn't have had nothing on me.
Because you got the voice.
Yeah.
You got the voice.
Understood.
And the last but not least, you know I got to hit him with this because they love hip hop. Kango.
Yes, sir.
Top 5 Queen. Top 5.
Oh,
Of what
man.
decade?
Yeah, see, that's a hard
Of what
question. yo.
decade?
Yeah, I've been asked that. You can't answer that honestly and so on.
I could mix the two because you either a dope lyricist, or your flow is
Well,
dope.
I'm going to say one a lot of people don't say, and I respect this man despite his personal. I love him. DMX is dope.
Oh my God.
So that's it. He's in your top 5.
It's too many. It's too many.
He's great.
My number one is Kango Kid. I have to say it.
Well done.
You better say that.
Well done. Send me the invoice. Checks in the mail.
I know what you because you from Staten. Somebody from the Woo was in your top 5.
I would say the Woo. You got to give me all 9 in one swoop. The Woo.
Wow. Now I may give you a few that you'll go, I don't know. It's all like one to me because of what he's done and how he's done it well, in my opinion. Eminem.
He is
Eminem is
He's one of the greatest.
He's in my top.
You know, and every
He's
time
in
I
my
say
top
that,
as well.
there are those that go, really? You'd put him in there above so and
yes.
so? I'm like, yeah, because there were certain obstacles that even he had to deal with that he overcame. Him being a white kid, come on, that's a big obstacle that he had to get over. And to impress me, being a white kid,
lyrically,
come on, he's absolutely on there.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And again, the list would just go on forever, man.
Yeah.
You know, Biggie would be on there. Jay-Z's on
You
there.
got to give me decades.
You know what I mean? Yeah, you
my
got to
top
give
5
about
in the
decades.
80s versus my top 5 in the 90s versus my top
Right.
5 now.
Right.
You got to give me those.
You know what I mean? And there was one time where I put Nelly up there, and the reason why is because he wasn't doing what everybody else was doing. So
Nelly
because
was
of that,
fire.
I saw him as good. I like you, bruh. You're not following that trend. You're doing something. You know what I mean? So I put him on there like, okay, you're slaying everyone right now because they're all doing that same thing that's out right now, and you decided, let me take it here.
You guys got a favorite decade?
90s. I'm 90s.
90s.
I think I would probably say 90s too.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, I love the 80s. I love what 80s brought to the
90s.
mix. You know what I mean? But when 90s started, you know, when 90s started to do the thing, I'm like, okay, I can get this, y'all.
There was
You know
a
what I mean?
respect in the 90s for the game. You had intellectual MCs. Like, and then that's why Jada is in everybody's top 5. He transcends. Jada is dope now. Jada was dope then.
And you know what happened to me in the 90s is, again, as a parent, every parent wants their child to be better. So I saw hip hop becoming better. I was like, yes!
And technically
yes!
proficient.
So as a parent, I was proud of where this has gone. So that is why I would say 90s, you know, not to discredit anything in the 80s. 80s put it down. 80s made, if it wasn't for that, it wouldn't have been this thing. But as a parent and one who appreciates the game and look forward to seeing it evolved, I was proud of watching this thing evolve. When Arrested Development came out, Speech is my dude. That's my baby brother. So when I seen that happening, you know what I mean? I was like, oh man, nice.
The only beef I had with the 90s was at one point it became too grungy. Like the dudes wasn't doing their hair and stuff. I always liked the pretty boy. Do your hair. Stop the stuff you're doing. And then they made it where the dancers weren't part of the group anymore. They had dancers on stage. But they didn't have dancers with the group. Like you had Heavy D and the boys. Like my sister and I was Shaheem's dancers. Kang danced for Houdini. They had dancers performing, but they were just part of the set, considered part of the group. And they tried to remove the dancer from the elements of hip hop.
Wow. Wow. Man, look.
Don't get no better than that.
Let me tell you
this. Talk about a lesson today, right?
This is one of the best conversations I had in a minute on the Man Cave Morning Show, man.
That's how we do.
But I already knew it was going to happen because, again, every time I run into this great brother right here, he always drops some type of knowledge and everything. Now I see your queen dropping some knowledge too on the art form. Salute to you both. Thankful for you both. Appreciate you both and everything.
Thank you.
Now, once you come here once, you family now.
Okay.
So if y'all want to come back here, have a discussion on one of our shows,
I accept.
When I come back, y'all better have a she-shade. Y'all got a man cave. Where's the she-shade?
Oh,
why don't you start that?
We gonna fight.
We'll produce it. You start that. The she-shed.
The she-shed. I like that.
We'll give up our seats.
Yeah. I definitely will. I definitely will.
Oh yeah.
No doubt.
Yell at you
Make
from the
sure
side.
tomorrow, man. Y'all support this young. Please come on out. Have a good time. We already know it's gonna be off the hook and everything.
It always is.
Again, he turning 52 years. He put it on the flyer, so you know it's official. He put it on the flyer. 5-2, son. It's the Shadow Boat Ride, man.
52.
August 7th. Get at the Pier what?
Pier 40.
Pier 40.
West Side Highway and in Houston Street.
Yes, yes.
Good for you.
Yes. Come rock out with the legend. You already know what it is, man. BKS1 Radio. And again, we'll be back tomorrow on the Man Cave show and everything. I had a great time today. That's all I had to say.
Oh, respect.
I had a great time.
Massive.
I know you had a great time.
What?
Yeah. We do got a hot or not. So before we leave, you know how we doing a hot or not. That means we play a song from an artist. It's not going to be hip hop today, but it's going to be R&B. The artist is Jay Chosen, and the name of the song is Blown Away. So let's make sure we got that. So you got to say whether it's hot or not. Now look, if it's hot, we keep it. We play it in regular rotation. If it's not, we delete the file. So y'all ready?
Let's get it.
You scared?
Who's scared?
Y'all gonna be honest
We ain't never scared.
and say whether it's hot or not?
Always honest.
All right, here we go. Let me bring it up.
Hot or not? Hot or not? Well, that's what they can do.
All right. It's all good. It's all good. So we're gonna see right now whether it's hot or not. And here it goes. This is Blown Away by Jay Chosen. Dun, dun, dun.
Some people search their whole life trying to find someone that makes your world spin. That special someone you seek could be right in front of you. You gotta open your eyes and open your mind when it's right. Then it hits you. like a cocoa storm, taking over you. 'Cause love has a way of doing what it do. Chills running down your spine, have you thinking about it all the time. See, I know this time around, love has a different feel for me. I'm so blown away. I'm so blown away. I'm so blown away by your love. So blown away. And in your eyes I see my future. It's like I'm looking in a crystal ball. You'll forever be a part of me. And this right here ain't make-believe. I know you were God made for me. And everywhere we go, see eye to eye. Or when I make another mistake, just know that I love you. It will be that way until my dying day. I'm so blown away. I'm so blown away by your love. I'm blown away. In the morning, noon, and night, she's all I ever need. Yeah. Oh, even when she's away from me, I can still smell her sweet breeze, a smile over me.
Hot.
Steaming hot.
Everybody say hot.
Period. Bye. See ya.
Hot. Heavy rotation. It's hot.
I'm over here following all his riffs.
Yeah,
No doubt.
that's fire. That's fire.
Look, he's showing his other talent right now.
No, at first I was like, I don't remember hearing those albums before.
Let me find out. We got another career problem.
Come on, man. Hip hop's first R&B song, bro. Fairy Tale Lover. Do your homework.
Oh yeah.
Come on, man. I was doing this for real.
And I actually have the marble notebook where he wrote that song in the house.
Yep.
That's crazy.
Wow. So y'all know what it is.
Look at the baby. Look at the baby.
So it's hot here at BKS, man.
Got Kango singing it. Got Kango singing
Jay
it. Stop
Chosen.
playing, Jay.
It's called Blown Away.
Yes.
Go out there and get that. Y'all know what it is, man.
Dope.
We want to thank everybody for joining us on the Man Cave Morning Show this morning with our great guests. Kango K. Let me say your name right.
Tajiri.
That's I got it.
That's what's up.
Yes, Kango, Tajiri, and
Amancia.
Yes.
Hi, Bubba Lubu.
Hi, Amancia.
Hi, Chief.
Amancia.
I miss her.
Yes.
Say the mic. Say hi.
We want to thank
hip-hop,
everybody.
baby.
And again, we'll be back tomorrow morning, man.
Absolutely.
Another great show, another great topic, Man Cave Morning Show. And remember, this show is never about us.
It is about you.
It's always about you because
You are the next best kept secret.
Peace.
Peace,
See y'all
y'all.
tomorrow. One love.
Bang, 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 bang.
Where you going?
I'm paying you later. Hey, I'm the queen of comedy some more, and right now you're rocking with BKS1 Radio.
BKS1 Radio Network. I'm here with the amazing Miss Tasha Smith. How you doing?
I'm doing so good. Thank you for coming out.
Yes.
I really appreciate it.
Hello, Denise Boutte. Hey, what's up? Shout out to BKS1 Radio. See you soon.
Brick City's finest, J.D. Williams. I'm in the Savage Podcast.
What are you wearing?